Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me again. We're at the end of the week. Hope you've got good plans for the weekend. Well, I wanted to bring you a little bit of news today with a further update about what's going on with Graeme Moore and the English Constitution Party. I've done a couple of videos on this subject over the course of time, and I've got a bit of stick from the people that go, oh, sore loser, get over it, and all the rest of it. But the situation could potentially be very, very serious. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, this is the thumbnail from the last video I did, which in itself got accused of being a little bit clickbaity. Avoid result. Not avoid as in keep out the way, a void as in null and void. Now, Sarah Pochin, as we know, was returned as the MP for Runcorn and Helsby. And just for transparency's sake, the bit of footage I've seen, particularly where she's done a couple of press interviews, she's held herself very well. And I've been quite impressed with what she's been saying and how she's been going about her business, and good luck to her. But what we have is a situation where there could have been some impropriety going on, not only with Runcorn and Helsby, but there was another election as well, both, funnily enough, Labour-held areas, and problems at the count. Now, Graeme Moore, as you know, is the leader of the English Constitution Party. As of time of recording, I've not messaged him yet to see if he'll come on over the weekend. I'm sure he will if he's free. But where he takes issue, if you have a look at all of the by-elections that he stood in between 2016 and now, there is a wide pattern of results, ranging from just over 1,000 right down to 50 votes. Now, it's the 50 votes that is the problem. In this election in Runcorn and Helsby, I'm remiss, I haven't uploaded the screen print so I can show you directly, but he got 50 votes. Now, bear in mind how these votes are counted, usually in bundles of 50. Now, that in itself, it wouldn't be a problem, would it? Except if you refer back to a by-election in Tooting in 2016, again, he got 50 votes, two separate areas of the country, nearly a decade apart, completely total different demographics, 50 votes, but Labour-run areas. Now, every time I come to this, I'm told, oh, yeah, it's all loser, get over it, blah, 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 blah. Well, there's more to it. There's more to it. Now, this isn't probably going to change things. Sarah Pochin is more than likely still going to be the Reform MP for Runcorn and Helsby, because at the end of the day, after 2 recounts, she was returned both times. But it's what was going on further down the pecking order. Now, Graeme Moore put this tweet up. The writ is now issued today. Now, that was yesterday. It's issued and it will be served today. So, a bit of an exclusive for you. Service date is Monday. I changed the petition slightly. I have an expert witness statement from a member of the Royal Statistics Society with experience of elections, counts, agents, and myself, plus more. The judge is holding a directions hearing in about 2 weeks. The actual trial date will be set in the venue, Runcorn and Helsby. The judge travels there. It's a special court. The outcome, either null and void election, in which case the whole thing will have to be run again. Null and void just the count and order a recount in another shire. Independent counters and or electric machine counting. 3, I lose, but the expert witness has said it's a 1 million to 1 chance to get 50 votes in 2 separate elections in different parts of the country, nearly a decade apart. It stinks. Don't forget, they use 50 as a bundle. Now, when I covered this originally, it was 40,000 to 1. That was worked out. But this is a member of the Royal Statistics Society said 2 different areas, 10 years apart nearly, 1 million to 1 chance of duplicating that result. So in other words, Graeme would have to stand in 1 million elections just to get that result once. Does stink a bit, doesn't it? Well, it's not only the election count, it's everything else as well. Now, I want to pull this up. This is a close-up. You can see the copy of the court witness statement on the side there, and that's got the court stamp on it to show it's been received. There's a cheque for £5,000. That's how much all of this is costing. So very serious. You don't spend £5,000 lightly if you don't believe that there could be something in this. And let's have a look at the list of names here. Sarah Pochin, we know who that is. Stephen Young, Mark Roberts, and Emma Gilthorpe. Now, Sarah has been served, or will be served this, because she's effectively the beneficiary of this, who benefited from the outcome. She won the election. Stephen Young is the returning officer for said election. Mark Roberts is the chief constable of the local police. Emma Gilthorpe is a CEO with regard to the post office. Now, Sarah and Stephen being a returning officer, that's self-explanatory. Mark Roberts, the reason he was served is because Graeme was approached and asked some very awkward questions about, the reason and purpose of a gathering that he organised. He called them a day of action. I mean, they want to take action on a day to promote the ideas of their party. And there was some obstructive questions being asked, who are you, what are you doing here, what are the plans? Graeme was like, well, you wouldn't do this to anybody else. Why are we getting it? Construed as election interference. So, been served. The CEO, you can see the name there, Emma Gilthorpe. Thousands, and I mean thousands of leaflets were organised, paid for, and left with Royal Mail to be delivered to raise awareness of the English Constitution Party within the local area. Never delivered. There are witness statements. I've seen these witness statements. Unfortunately, I can't show you. And every single one of them says not delivered, affecting the result, surely. Graeme himself has done a witness statement about the background and all the rest of it. I wish I could show you some of these, but I've been told or forbidden from showing them because they form important parts of the actual court proceedings. And finally, I bring you to the tweet again. An expert witness from the Royal Statistics Society. 1,000,000 to 1 chance of that result repeating. So something does stink. Not only that, you had, I think it was Rochdale, another problem there, another witness statement. So this pattern repeats in different parts of the country. Something needs to be done. Something needs to happen. We're entitled to free and fair elections. And when you see this sort of thing, it makes you wonder and makes you realise why people just don't get involved. Now, to be absolutely abundantly clear before anybody shoots the messenger, which you probably have done by now, Sarah Pochin is the Reform MP for Runcorn and Helsby. I very much doubt that this will change anything, because at the end of the day, there was 2 recounts and she was returned both times. What the issue at hand here is fairness and impartiality in our election process. No deceit, no lies, no underhanded play in our election process. There's laws, there's case law going all the way back to 1703 at least, Ashby versus White, which says we are entitled to vote for who we want to represent us in a free and fair election. That's part of it. So it's a very important case. It's a very important matter that needs to be dealt with. And just to show you once again, there's a cheque for £5,000 in that picture. £5,000. I wouldn't want to spend that money unless I thought I might have a chance of getting somewhere legally. Would you? Let me know what you think in the comments. As I say, I'm going to try and get Graeme on it over the weekend if he's free, so we can talk about this in a little bit more detail, because it is important. Please hit the like button on this, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.